happened to look over and saw this large floating object that was just moving very slowly. It was probably about a football field in length. It had 3 large bright lights lighting up the sky underneath it. I honestly don't know what it was that I saw, other than I know it wasn't a plane or a helicopter or a blimp.
The universe is infinite and most part is unexplored, so are we truly alone?
In 1947, the very first extraterrestrial sighting happened in a city in New Mexico called Roswell.
This very first encounter with extraterrestrials was the first eye-opening towards the idea that we're not alone.
Based on the documentary Unacknowledged, it states that since 1985 to now, it shows that there has been 3,500 cases about aliens leaving a mark on Earth and over 4,000 cases where aliens have been tracked on the radar.
The big turning point that really opened the world to the unknown idea of extraterrestrials was on May 9, 2001 at Washington, D.C., when the National Press Club revealed that they actually in fact got involved with discoveries and actual extraterrestrial sightings.
And worked with dead alien bodies.
Now, it is time for aliens.
Something in the sky, and it was like moving around, and I'm not kidding. I saw it and I was like scared out of my mind, and there were even times where I saw lights in the sky.
So I came across an alien one time, and he tried to kidnap my son. So I took his hand.
Tell us your story.
I was outside and there was bright lights everywhere. It doesn't matter. Okay, well, my name is Chloe, and so I was outside in my hot tub, and I was with my best friend and these other 2 people, and we were sitting there, and it literally just seemed like a light like fly across the sky, and we went looking for it, and we didn't see anything.
I am a MSD co-teacher, and yes, I have seen UFOs. They were coming out of the ground in different colors and just bouncing and dancing around. It scared me to death.
All right, my name is Mr. Devine. I'm a teacher here at the school, a social studies teacher. I have had a UFO experience. I remember it was a fall day, probably about 15 years ago. I was walking my dog, and things just got really sort of calm and surreal, sort of like that, when the sky turns that yellow color before a storm, it's going to storm. Only though there was no storm in the forecast. It was almost like the air just got sucked out of the room, only I wasn't in a room, I was outside. It was really, really strange, and my dog started acting really strangely, sort of looking around and sniffing and almost like as if he couldn't breathe. And then there was sort of a strange noise that I couldn't really identify or replicate. Again, I don't think. And again, it was very distant, but in the sky was sort of a strange, an unidentified object. I couldn't tell you what it was.
So based on LifeScience.com, they state that when people experience alien abductions in the night, they usually don't know that they're actually REM sleeping and have an out-of-body experience. And they estimate that this happens to at least 1 million Americans each year.
My name is Ashlyn, and I had a dream that I was cheering a football game, right? And all the students from the student section were like down on the track, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? Y'all can't be down here, leave. Okay, so then this one dude with curly hair, he goes to this school. I think his name's Jason. I've never talked to him in my whole entire life. But anyways, so he starts talking to me, and then like I couldn't understand him, and then it got more clear that I literally couldn't understand him. So then I tried to speak back, and it was just like all crazy, and I was sounded like all crazy and everything. And then like the dream went all blurry, and I was laying on a table, and there was like green lights bleeping everywhere, and like these aliens were like looking over me, and they looked really weird. And I was just like looking at them, and they was like testing on me or something. Then I woke up, and it was like weird because I was like laying that way, and I didn't know what to do.
So after doing more research, I came across this article on chemistryworld.com, and they talked a little bit about Mars. And they said due to data and images collected from Mars, it shows that Mars has the ingredients for life, like water, chemicals, and energy. And although humans cannot live on Mars, that doesn't mean that no other creature or extraterrestrial could be able to live there. So the article also talks about how NASA found like 9 new planets, and 2 of them are actually compatible and targeted for alien life, and those are named Planet Enceladus and Titan. So the Enceladus planet is believed to have a global ocean under its icy surface. So that means that the global ocean on that planet could be hundreds or even to like billions or millions years old. And so that shows that there was like a lot of time with that big body of water for life to potentially form. And then aside from those 2, there's also another one being currently like targeted for maybe potential alien life. And so they said that this other planet that resembles like Earth, they plan to launch a spacecraft that will explore that planet in 2022.
Almost 30 years ago, scientists thought life was extraordinary, so they thought that life on other planets would be just crazy to think about. But if you think about it, on Earth we have hot springs and very cold climates that bacteria can even live in. So on other planets, it's hot and cold and all kinds of climates, so that means other things could live on those planets too. But even on Earth, for the first 3 billion years that we were here, nothing was really made except for a worm, which isn't big, so imagine how long it may take on other planets for things to form.
While it makes sense to search first for something like ourselves, we don't know what we should expect. Extraterrestrials are most likely made up of different molecules than humans on Earth, but we have yet to know what they are truly made of. An MIT physics professor, Sarah Seeger, has decided to tackle this problem by coming up with a roster of possible chemicals that could signal the presence of alien life. She says, why not consider all of them? I just combine them in any way possible, like just taking letters out of the alphabet and combining them in all ways.
My name's Chuck, and I mean, if there's no way that we're the only like uninhabited planet, and like if half the universes aren't explored, then how do we know that we're the only one?
I can really tell you that things felt different, felt strange, felt foreign, alien, if you will.
Aliens are real and UFOs are real. I've seen them. They're terrifying. They're up in the sky.
Aliens are coming. No, I'm joking. Okay.
Mathematically speaking, the probability that we're the only planet that this thing happened on is really too small.
You asked about UFOs, not aliens, but what if there are UFOs, but they're not manned by aliens, they're manned by human beings, and they're just things in the sky? So maybe I do believe that there might be unidentified flying objects. That's what UFO stands for, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think I believe in aliens.